Shalom, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'asham, Rakakodash. And I'm back again with another video entitled, The Spirit of Egypt Will Continue to Fade. And basically here, we have this young woman basically feeling like she's empty, lost. She doesn't want to aspire to be anything in this world. And we're just gonna get right into it and let her explain herself real quick. And then we're gonna get some scriptures and, relate this to the Bible.
I don't want anything anymore. I don't want a house. I don't want kids, any more kids. I don't want a relationship. I'm not looking for a partner or a marriage. I'm not looking for a dream job. I'm not looking for a dream career. I don't want to go back to school. I don't really want to learn any more hobbies. I don't want to do anything. I feel broken. I feel like I've lost all motivation to live and to try to achieve things because I really don't feel like it matters. And I feel like all of this is a filthy scheme and trick. And I'm gonna be honest, COVID is what acknowledged or what excited the acknowledgement of this in me. And I cannot go back to normal. I don't know how y'all are doing it. And I'm not suicidal. I'm not trying to kill myself. But I really, really do not see the point of living anymore. Am I alone? Am I just crazy?
No, she's not crazy. As a matter of fact, a lot of people are feeling like that, And this is related to the spirit of Babylon, this place, All of the mirth is leaving this place. The happiness, the parties and all of that, they don't hit the same no more. All those things these people are feeling. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this first scripture here. Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. So what she's doing here in this video is a form of mourning in its own way and its own right. When the wicked are in authority, this is the result. When there's no righteous rulership, then things like this start to happen throughout society. We get Isaiah. Starting at Isaiah, I'm pretty much going to get majority of this chapter of Isaiah 19, starting at verse 1. The burden of Egypt. Behold, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai rideth upon a swift cloud, going into the chariots, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. So you can tie this to the people, losing their joy and their hope and all of that stuff. And I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. So what we see throughout society, people versus people, the left versus the right, nations versus nations, this all has an effect on your everyday people, and the stress of life, not being able to afford anything. You see the gas prices going up, people can't find jobs, all these things contribute to this type of mentality that people are starting to develop. Is like a coping mechanism. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards. So you have some people out here, they're feeling the same way this lady is feeling. So they try to find ways and means to cope with it, to justify the way they're feeling and to try to understand. So they go to tarot card readings, stuff like that, familiar spirits, just to try to understand why they're feeling the way they're feeling, the hopelessness, the lack of drive or motivation. So they seek to these familiar spirits and wizards. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith Yahweh, and Yahweh of hosts. So this fierce king, as you see, you know, who's in authority right now? Who's the president? You're going into Trump. This guy, he showed his hand. Basically, he has all these ICE agents and stuff like that. So he don't take pity on the poor of the society. He actually hates them. People getting thrown out of the country, separated from their families, thrown into concentration camps. For one instance, we're talking about Alligator Alcatraz. Every time it rains, it floods in there. There's all types of insects, wildlife that they gotta live amongst, and that's a very terrible way to live. And he doesn't care. There's reports of people being shackled and thrown from airplanes and all these things. So this is a very cruel man. When it comes to the so-called minorities, you Israelites, blacks, Native Americans, and Hispanics, he doesn't have that compassion upon you people. So in the comment section of that video, they were throwing around this word, so I went and looked it up. It's called anhedonia, and this is what it is basically, and it explains it perfectly. Anhedonia is the reduced ability to experience pleasure or interest in previously enjoyed activities. So all the activities that they used to do here in Babylon, they're not hidden the same no more. The parties, the travel, the food, the music, none of it hits the same no more. Often resulting in emotional numbness, social withdrawal, and low motivation. Common in depression, bipolar disorder, and PTSD. It is caused by brain reward system dysfunction, often lowering dopamine, and treated via therapy and medication or simulation techniques. So basically, this is what it is. This is what a lot of people are feeling. And it's only going to get worse, as they start to ship people off the war and, all these type of things that you got going on right now. And these are some other key points, like social anhedonia. Disinterest in social contact, and in some cases, a total lack of pleasure from being around others. Yeah. Physical anhedonia, the inability to feel pleasure from physical sensations like touch, sense, or sound. So it's a whole, host of things that can come with this disorder or whatever you want to classify it as. So look at it. Ecclesiastes 12:1. And this is what a lot of people need to be doing right now, this instance, while there's still some sense of normality, So here we go. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. And you can slowly see that these people out here are having less pleasure in these days. People are just existing at this point, trying to survive and keep a roof over their head, keep food, in their stomachs. People are barely hanging on, and that causes some kind of depression, or in some cases, this anhedonia disorder. Ecclesiastes 12:2. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because there are few, and those that look out of the window be darkened. So this is going into the economy, how it's looking. The grinders cease, meaning there's lack of work, for people to do. People are struggling to find jobs, all these things. So continuing on, we get Isaiah 24:4. The earth shall mourn and fade. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. And you see, as you can see, people are languishing. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. And who caused the earth to be defiled? Basically, the rulers, the people that are in charge of everything. They're the ones that allow all this pollutions in the air, in the water, everything. So they're the ones responsible for destroying the earth. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws. Exactly, they pollute everything, changed the ordinance, and broken the everlasting covenant. So, all the covenants that the Lord set up to govern the earth, these people that are in control, they totally just disregard that. They don't care about nothing. They don't care about the laws and how to govern the earth, the land Sabbath, not spewing chemicals and stuff into the oceans and the rivers and all the bodies of water. They just, total lack of care on their part. Therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. The new wine mourneth, the vine languisheth, all the merry-hearted do sigh. So the people are not enjoying themselves. They're not, they're not happy. The mirth of the tabrets ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoice endeth. The joy of the harp ceaseth. So all the partying, all the stuff, all the mirth is practically leaving this place or has left. They shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in. There is a cry for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. So that's what I've been saying, and this was just like a small example of that. And I'm going to go to second interest, and I'm going to end it off with these couple of scriptures at the end. Now therefore set thine house in order, and reprove thy people. Comfort such as of them as be in trouble. And now renounce corruption. Let go from thee mortal thoughts. Cast away the burdens of man. Put off now the weak nature, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and hasten to flee from these times. And that's all I have for now. I want to say shalom, all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham Rakakwatash. Shalom.